Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Leanne and I'm so glad that you stopped by my channel today. I've got 3 really easy, budget-friendly DIYs to share with you. This video is also part of the Try It Tuesday challenge, which is hosted by Sammie from Unicorn Dust Designs, and we'll talk about that more as we get into the video. So let's get started. For our first DIY, I have this wooden lantern. This is from the Dollar Tree. It actually has a pretty good light. It's a lot brighter than other ones that I've seen, or maybe just the placement of the light. I don't know, but I thought it was really, really bright. And I'm just gonna cut off the tag and we're gonna get painting on it. I'm leaving the hanger because I'm not sure if I'm going to use this as an ornament or like on a tiered tray, but I can always cut off the hanger later. I'm going in with this metallic paint from Folk Art and tiny paintbrushes. I'm going to use a small angled one and then just another small one in a little bit to paint the inside. This was kind of a tedious process, but to me, it was worth it. This piece was pretty well put together and I was nervous about trying to take it apart. I could have heated it up with like my hairdryer to soften the glue, but I just didn't trust it. So we're going to paint it, but we're going to leave it all together. Now, the whole point of the Try It Tuesday challenge, that it's, like I said, hosted by Sammie from Unicorn Dust Designs, is that we get our inspiration for other creators and we either replicate it or do our own version of it, and then we make sure to credit them. So this first DIY was inspired by Sammie herself, and I will have her video linked below. Now, she used some larger plastic lanterns from the Dollar Tree and painted it and embellished it, and it just kind of got my mind thinking, and so I'm doing my own version here. You can see that I have painted the top and bottom in this gold paint as well. Later you're gonna see I actually changed that to black. I don't show myself repainting it, but in the end it just, I don't know, I didn't like it. So now we're gonna go in with crimson from Waverly, and I'm going to paint the body of the lantern as well. And I just took my time doing this. I did use a small paintbrush because I didn't want to drip any inside. I didn't want there to be any, globs or anything. So it was worth it to me. I did also paint the bottom of the lantern just around where the light is, because I figure if this is on a tree, I wanted it to just kind of look finished on the bottom. So that's obviously totally up to you. I will have the playlist for the Try It Tuesday challenge down in the description box, along with a link to Sammie's channel and any other links to where my inspirations came from. So make sure you check them out to get lots of other DIY inspiration. So now I want to embellish my lantern, and I'm just taking one of these garland ties from the Dollar Tree. Hobby Lobby has them as well, and I just folded it over a couple times and gave it a good trim because it was just a little too wild for me. And then I'm just going to take this little glitter vase filler. I believe that's also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just very carefully hot gluing them all over. We're just making kind of like a berry garland on top. You could put a bow, you could, I don't know, put anything you want, other greenery, but this is what I'm going with. And then we're going to put a little bell on there as well. I just kind of pulled out all of my little bits and pieces and used them in these DIYs today, just kind of using the type of things that I had on hand already. And you can use a lot of scraps from picks and whatnot for this type of thing, so just save those. And so I just glued the bell on top, and I'll show you it all lit up at the end. For our next DIY, I have this styrofoam cone from the Dollar Tree and a container with some baking soda, and then I'm going to mix in some of this fern colored paint from Waverly. And I wanted to use a textured paint here because I didn't want it to look like styrofoam. So we're going to paint this and just do a nice thick coat of this. I mixed up too much paint. I always do that. I found another project to use it for that's not in this video, but I was like, I'm not wasting this paint. But my inspiration for this came from Pinterest, and I'm just going to show you a couple pictures because I don't have a specific one that was my direct inspiration. It was more so for the base, and that's kind of what led me in this direction. So I have this ribbon spool that is empty. This is just one from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use a burnt umber. That's a little blurry, but that's the color, burnt umber from Apple Barrel, and I'm going to paint this with that. And it does take 2 coats. At first it looks like, wow, this is really streaky. Is it gonna look okay? But it looked great. And I'm gonna do all of it, including the top and the bottom, and just kind of trying to make it look like an old fashioned wooden spool. is what I was going for based on the inspiration pictures that I just came across on Dollar Tree on Pinterest. If you are new to my channel, maybe you're stopping by because of the playlist or for some other reason, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. So I'm just showing you because I went in with another coat of this paint and I did not film it because it was just late at night and I don't know, did it. And I went in and just pounced my brush on in different angles so that it was a thicker, like textured look. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I just painted a little bit of the bottom because I didn't want any white to be seen from the bit that was going to be hanging over the end. And we're just going to hot glue that to our base. And I do give this a good coat of Mod Podge, especially on the spool, because the bottom of it is like a plasticky finish and it was going to was scraping off pretty easily. So just cover with Mod Podge. And then I have this little pine cone. I just poked a tiny little hole at the top of the tree for the little tiny stem on the bottom of the pine cone and pushed that down and just held it until the hot glue settled. And I love how this one came out. I can't wait to show you that at the end. For our final DIY, this one was also inspired from Sammie, and I have this silver metal star piece from Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. My brain was struggling for a moment there. And also this decorative filler, which looks very Christmassy, but it is not a Christmas item. It's just there at different times. And then random bits and bobs, we'll call them, from my stash. And we are going to go ahead and fill this star up. This star is also not part of their Christmas stuff. It's just in their Crafter Square area. And Sammie used a triangle shaped, it wasn't the metal ones, it was I think a holder for a succulent, but I'll have her link, her video linked for you. And she put a stem on it and made it into a Christmas tree. But I loved the idea of just filling it up with like Christmas fun. And this is going to just be a shelf sitter for me, but you could also have left the string on it and use it as an ornament. And I'm just using pine cones. I started out with the corners and we're just going to hot glue. It will hold pretty good even though it's on the metal. Once it's all crammed in there, it's going to be just fine. At least it is so far for me. I'm cutting off little pieces of the garland and just kind of shoving those in the corner, filling in the gaps, and just kind of continuing on with it until I have just the desired look. There's really no wrong way to do this. You could do it all with pine cones. I think Sammie just used pine cones and some type of greenery, if I remember correctly. But you can do it any way you want. If you like this video, if you like budget-friendly, easy DIYs, then I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I think I already said that. I did already say that, but I'll just say it again because I'd love it if you would subscribe. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments on these DIYs. Also, are you working on Christmas DIYs already? I do like to get a head start because I do like to decorate early because I don't want to be busy with all of that. During the Christmas season, I just want to be free to do, all the Christmas fun stuff. Not the decorating's not fun. But anyways, I like to get a head start on my DIYs. So let me know if you are as well, or maybe you'll just save this for some inspiration for later. I don't know that everyone in the playlist is going to be doing Christmas DIYs, so definitely check them out. I don't think there was the rule that it had to be Christmas. It's just where I'm at right now. So as you can see, I was using some of that silver filler as well. And I did trim it a little bit because, again, those garland ties are a little bit hairy, a little bit fuzzy. So you can see I have quite a mess. I'm going to use these little silver beads, I guess. They were in that as well. And I just kind of folded up the stem to give me something to put some hot glue on. Just kind of gave a thicker spot for the hot glue to attach itself to. And poked those in various places as well. If you are watching this video from the Try It Tuesday playlist, I would love it if you would let me know down in the comments. I'm always curious, if that's what brings people in or not. I don't know. Just curious minds want to know. I have this little tiny glittery pick. I think this might be from the Dollar Tree, but I'm not actually sure what it came from. What I did was I went up and got out my box of Christmas picks, and I just kind of pulled out all of the little pieces that were at the bottom of the bin and was like, I can use these. So I just wanted to add some like different textures and dimensions. These ones like stick up a little bit further. And then I also wanted to add in some pops of red just because I thought that was pretty. So I am just pulling apart various pieces of this red berry and just hot gluing them. Be careful with hot glue on these little tiny pieces. I have a low temp hot glue gun, so I don't usually burn myself bad, but be very careful. You could also use some little tools. This is very sped up because this did take a little bit of time, but it wasn't like it was hard. It was enjoyable, and I just kind of watched a movie while I did it. So I sped it up and, you know, didn't put in all of the footage for you because that would have been a bit much. And that is it for these DIYs. If you love them, let me know what you think down in the description, or no, down in the comment section. Don't forget to check out Sammie's channel, the playlist, and all the other links down in my description box. And subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.